Another guy who we know and have known is going to be on the trade block is Andy Dalton, the Bengals quarterback. And Ian Rappaport of the NFL reported on Wednesday that the Bengals are willing to work with Dalton to facilitate a trade to another team when the time is right. Well, when it comes to a starting quarterback, of course you have to work with the quarterback. You don't just dump a quarterback onto another team like a backup right tackle. If someone is acquiring a quarterback that is going to be contending for the starting job, they need that guy to want to be there. The quarterback has to want to be all in. You can't have a quarterback whose attitude is, hey, I'm not showing up for any of the offseason stuff. I'm working out on my own. I'm not part of this. I'm not coming early. I'm not staying late. I'm not studying film. I'm not going to set the example for the rest of the players on the roster. No, you need the guy to want to be there. You're not going to trade a starting quarterback who doesn't want to be traded to the team he's being traded to. So the Bengals were always going to work with him. The real question, though, Charean, is when is the time right? This is just another example of what we've been discussing. The GMs out there who are looking at the landscape of all the quarterbacks, they're going to want to move, and they're going to want to get that spot filled. And, the Bengals may say the time is right after we draft a quarterback, especially if they're thinking about trading down from number one and letting someone else have Joe Burrow and trying to pick up a Tua Tagovailoa at pick number 5. If you don't have Andy Dalton on the roster, it's more likely you're going to get leapfrogged. So maybe for them, the time isn't right until after the draft. But I think it's going to be a lot harder to get value for Dalton if you wait that long. I think that, to maximize value as a free agent and or in a trade, you got to be ready to go March 18 when the free agency period opens and the new league year begins.
With Andy Dalton, it all really reminds me of the Ryan Tannehill situation from last year. And I don't think they get a whole lot for him. I think he goes somewhere where he could be a backup quarterback. And, the team that came to mind right away when I heard this was the Chicago Bears. Go back him up, and if your starting quarterback starts to fail, you go, hey, we got a better guy sitting there on the bench. Let's see what this guy can do. And I do think Andy Dalton can play. I see him going somewhere as a backup quarterback. I don't see him going somewhere where he's going to start come in as the guy who's going to start for that team. So if you're going to do that, you're not going to get a first-round pick. You're not going to get a second-round pick. So it so reminds me of the Ryan Tannehill situation, and I think he goes somewhere to a team that's looking at that backup that maybe can come in and take over if that starter starts to struggle a little bit.
Here's the one caveat I'll apply to that, though, Charean. In this looming game of quarterback musical chairs, I still don't think we know whether when the music stops, there's going to be more butts than seats or more seats than butts. And there's a chance that there's going to be a team that is left because they waited too long to have something lined up. They're going to be left looking around saying, who the hell's our quarterback for 2020? And if there's an Andy Dalton that's still available in trade, if there's a Phillip Rivers who is still available in free agency, that's when maybe you end up getting more because you waited because there's a team or two out there that all of a sudden is desperate. And I keep coming back to the Patriots, right? They get left high and try. And I think this is why they want to know what Tom Brady's going to do, because they're going to want to implement their plan March 18. They don't want to be that team that is left wondering what's our alternative to Jarrett Stidham because we waited too long and everyone else has been gobbled up. So this is going, we've never had anything even close to this by way of potential chaos for quarterbacks in free agency and really through the draft. And who knows how it's all going to play out. There's going to be a major, major shakeup potentially. Watch, everybody's going to stay where they are. No, I have a feeling that's not going to happen. It's going to be somewhere. It's going to be somewhere between nothing changes and complete and total chaos. But I think it's going to be closer to complete and total chaos.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.